Gaza today resembles a big concentration camp.
The crimes committed during the Israeli occupation against the Palestinian people are becoming a new Holocaust.
Condolences to the Palestinian victims whose lives were taken by Israel in the Holocaust it is perpetrating.
We must put an end to this Holocaust. The people of the Gaza Strip are condemned to a ghetto. Human Rights Council should no longer allow an occupying power to strive to exterminate an unarmed population.
We have seen an operation of systematic slaughter.
The barbaric massacres and the genocide perpetrated against Palestinian civilians in Gaza are gross and flagrant war crimes.
Our delegation considers it indispensable to adopt a firm resolution denouncing the genocide and criminal action of the Israeli government.
Women and children in Palestine are being buried alive. The schools of the United Nations have been turned into mass graves. The delegation of my country condemns most severely this massacre. Call on the Council to hold accountable the occupying authorities which are committing war crimes, including genocide.
We can carry out trials for these crimes against humanity and those responsible for this genocide.
The Palestinian people is the victim of massacres today, massacres which go beyond all human understanding, and this in the hands of the Israeli occupying authorities. These are war crimes and genocide.
Ecuador launches a firm appeal for the application of immediate, urgent, necessary measures to put this genocide to an end.
We are appalled by the massacres committed by the Israeli army. My country strongly condemns these crimes and the genocide that is perpetrated by the army of the Zionist entity.
Israeli atrocities as characterized by acts of state terrorism and crimes against humanity.
There can be no possible political justification for such terrible massacres.
It is our responsibility to stop the savagery against the Palestinian people.
For a third time, the Human Rights Council meets in special session over 2 years to look into Israeli violations and abuse, targeted killing and collective massacres that are committed against the Palestinian people. The aggression continues barbarically against the Palestinian civilians.
A special session is being held while the world witnesses the most barbaric aggression in modern history. The barbaric Israeli aggression against Gaza has led to thousands of deaths and wounded.
These mad attacks against mosques, schools, hospitals, UN facilities, leading to victims among UN staff. These are crimes against mankind. These are war crimes. To put an end to this bloodbath.
Israel is exercising state terrorism in an organized fashion, killing children and civilians deliberately. Israel has carried out attacks indiscriminately, without distinguishing between children, women, and the elderly. Israel is reiterating here its war crimes, crimes against humanity. Israel commits such massacres.
We consider this latest action yet another war crime and a crime against humanity.
The Israeli war machine, crimes against humanity and genocide.
Genocidal intention towards the Palestinian people.
Widespread and systematic attack directed against a civilian population, crimes against humanity.
Ethnic cleansing Jerusalem.
The massacres, crimes against humanity. And racist policy.
Systematically attack the civilian population, crimes against humanity.
State terrorism and Israeli racism.
We cannot equate, as some do, between military operations by a formal army and small rockets that are being used by some armed groups.
Hamas is democratically elected and is engaged in legitimate self-defense against the occupier.
We cannot accept, Mr. President, the argument that the ceasefire broke down because of sporadic rocket fire. The fact of sporadic terrorism cannot obscure the larger, longer historical fact of occupation.
Gaza that has become a gulag with an over-equipped army, a machine to kill, one of the most sophisticated, against a handful of militants with the most basic weapons. Militants whose only error was to rise up against the jailers of their gulag. This rebellion is termed terrorism because those in Gaza are not seen as having the right to defend themselves.
Some countries describe state terrorism as legitimate self-defense.
While terrorism has emerged as one element of the ongoing conflict, the conflict itself is not about terrorism. The central issue is the self-determination of the Palestinian people.
The fact is that Israel is the occupying power and the people of Palestine wants to liberate itself from this occupation.
Israeli crimes, including the apartheid wall and the expansion of settlements, require resistance, which is a legitimate right for all peoples under occupation.
The Israeli state justifies its barbaric aggression, claiming it is defending itself against the homemade bombs. Gaza is a martyr of resistance to colonial occupation.
We express our profound respect for the Palestinian people and their elected government, who bravely assert their legal and legitimate right to self-determination.